So on paper, a fantastic idea, but why was it needed in the first place? That question I put to John Prentergast earlier this week.
It's because sitting here I can see all the resources that we've got in Southland. I think we're the most resource-rich region probably in the country in terms of dollar resources, in terms of the environment we've got, in terms of the interest and the passion we've got for sport here. And I just wanted to try and bring some people together to try and harness those resources a bit better.
So it was a case of lots of individual groups doing a job, but collectively not coming together.
Well, collectively coming together a bit, but I just think there's scope to come together a lot more than what the agencies do. So we're very keen on building partnerships between all the agencies, or all the players in that scrum, if you like.
What was the response from the people that attended to the concept?
Really positive, actually, and I was really pleased at the response. Well, I was pleased at the level of people who took the time to go to it. They obviously thought it was worth going to. And yeah, very positive response from everyone that was there.
The reaction may be another talk fest, another forum.
Yeah,
what
that's
effectively
the danger,
is the action that's going to come out?
That's the last thing we want to happen, and that's the last thing I'll let happen. We want some positive, concrete things to come out of the talk fest, if that's what you want to call it, last week. So we've got groups now starting work, and they'll be starting this week on 3 different facets. One will be looking at facilities, and I would hope that eventually we'll end up with a facilities stocktake across the whole region. So we'll look at what facilities have we got here in Southland at the moment for sport and recreation, and that might be school facilities, council facilities, community-owned facilities, the whole range. And then look at participation trends as well. So there'll be a separate group looking at that, seeing what sort of activities are people involved in at the moment in Southland, what are the trends for sport and recreation participation. And then we'll put those 2 groups together and just make sure that we've got a match, that the facilities that we have suit the participation, the ways that we're participating now and sort of 5-10 years out. So that's 2 issues that are going to be looked at. The third one is economic development opportunities that can come out of sport and recreation. And they're enormous, I think. I mean, we've got these facilities here in Southland. We have the ability, because we've got the resources, to build facilities here in Southland. Let's maximise the use of them.
Will there be periodic checks by yourself? Will you be driving it to make sure that we stay on track?
Yes, I will. There's been and I'm reluctant to say a committee, there's been a group set up, and I'll call it a focus group, which will be representative of all the players in that scrum. And it's our role to manage and own that plan, basically, and make sure it does progress. And we'll review it periodically just to make sure that we're on track. I think there's a crying need for a coordinated, coherent plan for sport and recreation in Southland, and that's what this is about.
The scrum analogy, excellent. Is this your idea, John?
Yeah. It just came to me one day. So, well, what happened, I had to talk to a sporting forum last June, and I wanted to talk about this concept, and I was trying to think, how could I make it interesting? And I thought, well, I'll put it into a sporting sort of a context. So that's where it came from.
And you'll be hoping that this team sort of operates like a Crusaders rather than a Chiefs?
Very much so, yeah. Well, like a Southland team. I think we've got all the players there and all the resources to make it happen. We just need to put it together.
A time frame, when would you like to see some results sort of roll out?
Probably within 2 to 3 months we'll start seeing some, well, sooner than that even, but we'll start seeing some work start to happen. What we need to do in the next couple of months is actually scope what we want the different groups to do. So the facilities group, what do we want them to go and do? The participation group, what sort of terms of reference are they going to have? And similarly with the economic development group. But I would hope that that work will start shortly, and in probably 6 months we'll get together again and review what's happened and just measure the progress, and then go and look forward for the next 6 months. So certainly we'll be monitoring as we go through.
Will the result be another body, another sporting body as a consequence of this?
No, I think that's the last thing we need, is another organisation. And that's why I hesitated to call this group a committee. It's not a formal committee, it's simply a group of people who are going to be pulled together periodically to look at this issue, and then they'll go back. So there's not going to be a new office set up or a new structure set up. We've got the resources here already. We just need to pull them together more.
And John has promised at least a quarterly update on Southland about the progress of the Southland Sporting Scrum. Coming up after the break, a layman's explanation of what's happening to the New Zealand dollar.